All right, class, I am going to do a few problems from page 23. There were some questions coming in about students not remembering seeing these in their advanced classes, which I agree. That's why I said that even if you took an advanced class, that doesn't mean that you did do advanced work, okay? So again, this is review, but some of you may have seen it, some of you may never have seen it. So we are going to show you how to do a few of these, and hopefully this helps you complete your assignment, okay? All right, so 165, this is one on page 23. There are many ways of doing the problem, but of course, like I said before, what you want to do is you want to take the shortest, most efficient way to do the problem, okay? So I'm going to do this problem two ways for you. This problem is essentially a radical equation. That's what it is. It has a radical in there, okay? But first of all, I'm going to do it the easy way, okay? So when I look at this problem, the first thing that I'm going to do is I am going to make this exponent a 1, okay? So the question is, how can I make that exponent equal to 1 using my laws of exponents, okay? So what I could do is, if I remember my laws of equations, exponents, I will remember that what I need to do is if I want that exponent to turn to a 1, I need to multiply by the reciprocal of 3 over 2. This is what you call your power of a power formula, okay? And because this is an equation, you do the same thing to the right and you do the same thing to the left, okay? So I also need to raise the 8 to the power of 3 half, okay? Now, if you use the laws of exponent, then you will notice that after you do that, the this turns into 1 basically. Let's see. Okay, it turns into 1 because you have 2 times 3, and then you have 3 times 2, 6 over 6 is 1. All right, so that gives you a nice x plus 3 on the left side. On the right-hand side, you have to do a little bit of work, okay? So 8 to the 3 halves is essentially the square root of 8 to the third. That's what it is, okay? So we are looking at 8 to the third. That is 512, and then you want the square root of 512, which is 16. Oops. Radical 2, I believe. Let me just double check that. All right, yep, so that's what you have. Okay, let's see, what else do I need to do here? All right, so then I am going to move the 3 over. So I should have minus 3, and then I have a plus 16 radical 2. All right, so that's the answer that I have. I'm going to go and check the back of the book to make sure that I got the correct answer. And let me see. 165. Okay, so I did not account for one thing. So they have a plus or minus sign in the back. All right, so where did I go wrong? So I did that part, right here, square root. Okay, so anytime you take the square root of a number, it is always plus or minus sign. How could I have missed that? Okay, so this is why I say that you have to check your answers. I mean, like I said, even when I do these problems, you know, they are harder, they are longer. You just need to check your work, okay? And I do the same thing. Also, I always check my work, and I will, find mistakes like this, and you just have to go back and find where you made a mistake and fix it. All right. Okay, so that's number 165. That's method number 1. Okay, method number 2. So I'm gonna go ahead and erase this, and I'm going to redo the problem. And maybe the other way is easier for some of you. So I'm gonna show you both ways. Okay, so the problem is I have x plus 3 to the 2/3 equal to 8. Okay, so another way of doing this problem is you rewrite this as a radical equation. Okay, so you are really looking at the third root of x plus 3 squared. Okay, that's the radical form. If you know your radical notation, yeah, if you know your radical notation very well, then you could also do the problem this way. Okay, so I did the problem for you the first way. This is the second way. All right, so now what I'm going to do is, this is the third root. So again, the key is to undo the third root. And so what I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and I'm going to raise everything to the third power. Raise everything to the third power. Okay, so that will undo the third root, and I will have my x plus 3 squared equal to, and this is going to be 512. Okay, and then now if I take the square root of both sides, I get my x plus 3 equal to plus or minus 16 radical 2, and I essentially get the same answer that I did before, but it's much faster this way, I think. So, you know, depending on your skills, if you are better with radicals, you know, work with radicals. If you're better with exponents, work with exponents. But that's the second way of doing the problem. Okay, I'm gonna jump to number 74. Okay. Oh, by the way, always check your answer. Okay, they want you to check your answers, because anytime you multiply or divide an equation by a term, you either lose a answer, or you either gain an extra answer, what they call extraneous solution. So once you get these answers, make sure that you check them. Okay, if you don't check them and you circle both of the answers as answers, it will be incorrect. All right. Okay, so number 174. Okay, what we are going to do here is, I think this is like some of the problems from your review packet. I remember there was a couple problems like this, and I posted a solution on Schoology already, but this is going back to how do you work with these equations, what we call rational equations. Okay, so the first thing that you do is, of course, use parentheses. Okay, you use parentheses. They are your best friend. Make sure that you do this. If you don't do this, you are going to start canceling things left and right, and so you want to make sure that you do that. The other thing is, you know, you have fractions, so make sure that every fraction has a denominator. If it doesn't have a denominator, that is a 1. All right, the next step. Factor the denominators as much as you can so that you can find the common denominator. Okay, so here I see x squared minus 4. When I factor x squared minus 4, I get x plus 2 and x minus 2. Hopefully you recognize that that's your difference of squares. Okay, so it looks like I am missing a x minus 2 here. Also do the same thing to the top. And on this side, I'm mixing everything. So I think I'm just going to write down x squared minus 4. Okay, because I'm missing both terms. All right. So now all the denominators are the same, and I can just forget about them. All right. I can forget about you. I can forget about you, and I can forget about you. And I'm just going to work on the top. Okay. So on the top, I have x from the first term. Then I have an x from the second term minus 2, okay, equal to, on the other side, I have 3x squared minus 4, okay, and I'm going to make one side equal to 0, okay, so I'm going to combine like term here and move this to the other side, and then I'm going to move the negative 2 to the other side too, okay, so this becomes 0. I have 3x squared, and then a minus 2x, and a plus 2, so a negative 2. All right. Okay, so I have a quadratic equation now. Okay, so what I want to do is use the method that is going to help me solve this problem as fast as I can. And I think that I'm just going to use the quadratic formula because I don't want to, waste time trying to see if I can factor this. I know my a is 3. I know my b is negative 2, and I know that my c is also negative 2, okay? And I don't know how you guys use the quadratic formula, but I like it. I like to break it down into 2 parts. So I like to find the radical term first, which is the square root of your b squared minus 4ac. So I'm looking at negative 2 squared minus 4 times 3 times a negative 2. Looking at 4 plus, what do we have here? 12, so 24. So I'm looking at square root of 28, and I can't do anything to it. So I'm going to leave it like that. And then I'm going to find the two answers. X is equal to my minus b plus or minus my radical term, which I already found, over 2a. Okay, so just be careful with your b because your b is negative 2 plus or minus radical 28. And divide all of that by 2a. All right, one more thing here. 2 plus or minus radical 28 over 6. Okay, that's supposedly the answers that I have. So I'm just going to go to the back of the book and check my answer. So, you know, like I said, even I check my answers, so you should be checking your answers too. That's the only way to learn, you know, whether you made a mistake or if you forgot something. All right, we are looking at 174. Okay, so 174, they have 1 plus or minus radical 31 over 2. Did I make a mistake somewhere? Okay, let's go back and check. I think I made a mistake somewhere because I did not get the answer in the back of the book. And it looks like everything is right. Let's see. Let's go back here. Let's see. Did I write the equation or copy the equation correctly? Okay, so x squared minus 4 plus 1 over x plus 2. And there's a 3. Then I factored it. I made the common denominator. I found the common denominator. Okay, on the top I have x, and I have another x, then I have a negative 2, and then I have 3x squared minus 4. All right, here I have a 3x, there's 2x on this side, moving it over, and here I have a negative 2. It looks like everything is good. A is 3, B is negative 2, C is negative 2. Okay, so this is going to be 4. Yeah, 24. I don't see anything wrong here. And so even my radical term is not right. They have a radical 31. So all right, so it looks like I can't find where I made the mistake. So I tell you what, I am going to redo the problem, okay? Because if I can't find it, I'm just not seeing where the mistake is. But anyway, you get the idea, okay? So this is what you do for these problems. I am going to go ahead and do the next problem, and then I'll come back and redo this one. Hopefully the second time we do it, we get it right. Okay, so this one, strategy-wise, okay? Okay, so absolute value of x plus 1 equal to x squared minus 5. When you have an absolute value problem, that means you always have to break down the problem, okay? Because absolute value is a distance from 0. So whether you go to the right or to the left, you have the same distance from 0, okay? So break down the problem. So this is how you break it down. The first problem is going to be x plus 1 equal to x squared minus 5. And the second problem is x plus 1 equal to negative x squared minus 5. All right? And then you just solve those two problems separately. Okay, so I'm going to make this 0. X squared minus x minus 6. I could see that I could quickly factor this. Looking at a minus 3 and a positive 2. So your answers are going to be x equal to negative 2, x equal to 3, okay? These are possible answers, so make sure you check the answer, okay? Possibly, like I said, you could have an extra root. Okay, so that's the first part. The second part, let's see, this one here x plus 1 equal to negative x squared plus a 5. I'm going to move everything to the left-hand side. Make the x squared positive term. I don't like to work with negative numbers. I don't know about you. All right, okay, and then moving the 5 over, so I have this, and we can't factor that, so I think I'm going to complete the square, okay, because this is very, no, completing the square is going to be, maybe using the quadratic formula again. Okay, so my A is 1, my B is a 1, and my C is a negative 4. Okay, I'm going to find my radical term. That's b squared minus 4ac, oops, 4 times a times c. So I'm looking at 1 plus 16, so radical 17. And then the other part will give me the answer. X is equal to minus b plus or minus my radical term over 2a. That's going to be minus b, whereas bb is negative 1, plus or minus radical 17 over 2 times a is 1, so 2. And let's see if that's the answer in the back of the book. Page 183. All right, let's see. 183. What do I have? 183. Okay, that's what they have in the back of the book, but we have one extra answer for this problem, okay? So you need to check your answer. The only accepted answer is the one that has a negative. Okay, this is the only accepted answer, all right? So just this one, not the other one, okay? All right, so again, these are problems where you may gain an answer, you know, depending on the technique that you use, or you may lose an answer. This is, you know, one of those situations where you actually have two answers, but one doesn't work. And the only way to know is to plug this into your equation, okay? And do the math and see if you have the same thing on both sides, all right? Okay, now let's go back and redo that number 74. Okay, I'm gonna erase all of you. Sorry, this video is longer, but you know, this is what you are doing at home, and I know that, you know, it's tedious work, and if you don't check your work and will make a mistake like I do here, you just have to do it again. We all have go through the same experience, but we become better eventually, which is good. Okay, so I'm gonna start from here. So, okay, so everything is the same. Again, I'm just gonna double check to make sure I copy the problem properly. X, you know, let me go back and check. Did I check the wrong problem? All right, let's see. Because that happens too. 174. No. Okay, so the answer is 1 plus or minus radical 31 over 3. Okay. Okay, so I factored x squared plus 4. And I have x plus 2, x minus 2. Next I found the common denominators and fix them. Okay, so it looks like everything is right up to here. Okay, so I'm just gonna now work on the top. Okay, x plus x minus a 2 equal to 3x squared. There's the mistake. I did not distribute this properly. I left it as a 4 in the other problems. And you know, things like this happen, and you just have to live with it. Unless you know, like I said, one of the things that could help you is if you have a problem like this, which is very lengthy, and you know that it's going to involve a lot of steps, before you go to the next step, double check your work, okay? So for here, you have the distribution. If I would have just checked that last time, then I didn't have to redo the problem, but I didn't, okay? Anyway, so from here on, the problem is done the same way, okay? You just make one side equal to 0 and use the quadratic formula again, and you will get the answer. Okay, so let's quickly again show you how to do that. Okay, so again, I'm going to make this side equal to 0. So I have 3x squared minus 2x and minus a 10. Okay, so my A is equal to 3, my B is equal to negative 2, my C is equal to negative 10. And I'm going to form a radical term. Okay, so B squared, so 4 plus minus 4 times A times C, so plus, I'm looking at 12. 12 times 10 is 120, okay? And I'm looking at the square root of 120. I'm just going to punch it on my calculator. And that is equal to 2 radical 30. Yay! Oh, 30 or 31. Is it radical 31? Let me see. Just double check here because I remember it was radical 31 and I have radical 30. Let's... So it says radical 31 here, but let's see. Let me double check. Did I make a mistake here? 4, 3, you know, it could be, let's see. 3 times 4 times 10. 120 plus, oh, silly me. Okay, good thing I checked the answer because this is not what you have here. I punched square root of 120 instead of square root of 124. Okay, so let's do that again. 124. Yes, now we have it. So it's 2 radical 31. Okay, so this is, you know, a true way of, you know, of doing the problem. Okay, you're just gonna have to go through these hurdles. Okay, x equal to minus b plus minus radical over 2a. My b is negative 2, so a 2 plus or minus a 2 radical 31 over 2 times a is 6. So here, if you don't check the back of the book, you're going to say, okay, these are my solutions, but no, these are not your solutions because they want you to go one more step, okay, and that is to reduce, to simplify as much as you can. Your book does a lot of that, okay? I can cancel out a 2, I can cancel out a 2, and this turns into a 3, okay? So your answers are 1 plus or minus 1 times radical 31. You can write the 1, you don't have to. And then over 3, all right? And I've already checked the back of the book, and that's the answers. Okay, here you go. Hopefully this will help you, and, you know, hopefully by me, you know, doing these problems, making mistakes, correcting myself, and, you know, teaching you how you have to basically be very careful and how you check your own work and all of those things. So hopefully this helps you. Alrighty, we'll see you later. Bye.